Hey guys, my name is Rob, aka MCRC. You might have seen me on Instagram and on YouTube. This weekend, I'm going to be doing a challenge that I've seen on Instagram. A guy that I follow called Ralph Hefter. You should check him out. The link will be in the YouTube description or Instagram description below. His challenge is to write a song completely from scratch, giving yourself only an hour to write, record, get it all together. So that's my challenge for today. I've got a couple of things with me. I have cheated a little bit. I've already made sure my guitar is in tune. My guitar is a Charvel San Dimas Style 2. It's got JB 59 pickups, for those of you who really want to know about guitars with an ash body in neutral. I've got my Focusrite input, which is fairly standard, fairly cheap. Some headphones as well that came with it. That's all I'm using, so nothing too crazy there. And I'll be using my DAW of choice, which is Reason 11. So you guys should see how I get on. I'll be posting along with this video the song, and also along the way I'll be showing you how I'm getting on and everything like that. Haven't really got any ideas as of yet what I'm going to do, but I'm just going to have a play around, see what I come up with, and show you along the way. But it's a really cool challenge. You should definitely try it out if you're a musician yourself. And as I say, just get some creative flowing and see what we come up with. Okay, cool. Hey guys, so I'm halfway through, starting to come together. I've got a couple of things that I need to do just to kind of layer it. I'm going to do some mess around with the drum beats because I've just got a basic drum beat so far. So at the moment, I'll show you the rack and see what we've got. So we've got kind of the presets in there. We've got the drum beat, which I've just set up on A1, which is going through sort of 4 repeats, just a kind of fairly sort of simple thing. With the bass drum and a ride, and then a sort of clap and snare sound. Fairly simple, nothing too special there. We've got a couple of the guitar sounds. So this is the first one that I started off with. You can hear that sort of crackle, so I put it through a vinyl emulator just to give it that kind of warm sound. Pop a little bit of this pipe reverb and then another reverb on top just to kind of give it this really sort of echoey and ambient sound. And then on top of that, I've got a second guitar. Again with the pipe and reverb with a compressor. I've got this echo with a bit of wobble, which kind of gives it a little bit of a chorus sound, but I've turned the delay down so that you're not getting any delay, just getting the chorus. And then I've got effectively a Digitech whammy pedal that's giving us a second higher octave sound, which I've turned the wet down a little bit, and then I've run it through a side chain just to kind of give it this sort of like pulsing sound, and then just put a little bit more reverb on the top of it at the end just to kind of give it, smooth it out basically, and so it's not so obvious that it's been pushed through a side chain. But it effectively gives it a bit of a kind of Leslie organ sort of sound, so it's been given this sort of like organ sound even though it's actually a guitar that's playing. On top of that, again, I've got another guitar that's just giving this sort of tapping. But that one I've actually put through a rotary Leslie organ, giving it a bit of the reverb again, and again I've got actually an octave lower this time to thicken it up. Again, a similar sort of chorus effect, and then a little bit of a bass boost, and the compressor just to smooth it out a little bit. And then finally On top of that, the last guitar sound that I've got is this one. So again, a compressor, and then again the same similar reverbs just to smooth it out, give it this similar echoey sound and everything like that. And then finally, I've just written this piano part. So again, you can see how I've sort of had to write this. I really need to invest in a MIDI keyboard really and just actually play it out. But yeah, usually I just write it out using the sequence and basically the pen tool. It works the same. It means it's a bit more fiddly because I have to work around moving things and everything like that just to make sure that it's kind of in time. It gives it the sound that I want. So altogether, kind of gives you this. So now it's just about layering it up really to make it sound kind of cool. I think I've got all the individual parts that I need to make it interesting. So I think the intro is maybe slightly too long. Maybe need to cut a bar out and then bring this in a little bit earlier. I quite like this, that gives you kind of like a little bit of sort of pre-intro. You've got this still running the and then so now I'm just trying to give it a little bit of interest, just to see, make sure that the parts kind of come together, give you this bit of difference in the song, you know, give you some breaks, give you some different parts to it. So we've got, I also think that this guitar part is very similar to this part, subtly different. Obviously the sound is different, the effects and everything like that. But with the two in together, I think that just sounds too muddy. Again, hours quite limiting. I think I probably would re-record this guitar line. It's a little bit messy, but you haven't got all the time in the world to do it. I'm just going to bring that gain up a little bit on that. Let's have a listen all together then. I think I'll bring the this second guitar up a little bit. Drop the wet down on that crackle. It's probably still a little bit too much. You want to kind of give it that effect, but you don't want it overpowering. With these as well, I've done a little bit of a high pass and low pass filter, just to bring in some of those frequencies, give it that kind of lo-fi feel. So now really I'm just kind of taking all the parts that I've got, I'm making it into a song, I'm layering them up so it kind of comes in and out, gives you some interest in the song. A lot of these lo-fi tracks are fairly short, so you're probably only wanting sort of 2 minutes. And you can kind of loop around the parts quite easily. There might be some other things that I can do with it. So sometimes you can bring in, as I said before, I've got these effects on here, and you can automate them so that it sort of widens the sound all of a sudden and gives you this kind of, goes from this really sort of lo-fi sound to suddenly kicking in and giving you this really cool effect where the sound suddenly becomes a lot wider, and you haven't got the EQ effect on it effectively. I always forget which way around it is. So through the speakers on the laptop, you can't really tell, but when I put it through properly, you should be able to hear a certain difference in the sound because it's no longer clipped from the EQ. So I'm going to catch you in a little bit. I'll show you what I'm doing right at the end. Cool. Okay guys, so that's my hour up. I've got it layered, I've got it sounding pretty cool. As I say, if I had loads of time to do it, then I'd take some of the ideas that I've got and I'd maybe layer up the guitars. I'd slightly re-record some of the guitars as well because it's not perfect. I know that the lo-fi kind of sound is kind of cool if you don't have it perfect, but I'd still quite like it to be a little bit more in time, and you can also kind of like push and pull things a little bit more, maybe change some of the tempo so it's going in and out ever so slightly, so it's not so quite quantized and so rigid, which is that kind of lo-fi sound. I'm going to play it through the speakers just so you kind of get an idea, but I'll put another song on my YouTube, but it sounds pretty cool. I like the guitar part. You don't quite get the full sound on just the laptop speakers, which is why I used the headphones, but just to kind of give you an idea of what it's sounding like. That sounds a little bit tinny. Doesn't sound so bad through the headphones, but that doesn't sound quite as nice as I'd like it. So there you go. Sounds alright. There's a couple of things that I would like to change if I had a lot of time, but you know what? I think I'm just going to leave it there and see what you guys think of it. Let me know in the comments. Cool. Thanks for joining me this rainy day. It's a bit miserable out there, but thanks for joining us. Okay, see you later, guys. Cheers.